Lupita is going to be in the Odyssey. And people are saying she's going to be Helen of Troy. You know, the one they were fighting over. You know, even if you watch, what is that Achilles one called? Today I'm blanking out. Anyway, that's the movie. So having this, they've been doing this a lot. They're putting black people with Vikings. So in that time, in the long, it's just, I hate it. But they just don't seem to learn. It's like this weird thing, and it's Christopher Nolan who has mad respect from many people. But then it's like they can't help themselves. Oh, he had to put her. You know, they've already created this. Oh, if you don't put a black woman, we need diversity. And they created the quotas, by the way, even for the Oscars. They created the quotas. The quotas, you either have this number of people there or nothing. So, this Helen of Troy? So, Elon Musk, of course, Christian lost his integrity. I agree. So, historical Helen of Troy versus Hollywood. So, there's that. So, this, you see, every time, like, I see people talk about, oh, there are black people. Yes, they were, but they're not like they were slaves, most of them, or gladiators, or just traders, but they didn't have, there are very few had like big positions, because it was the Kwazungu Romans, the Italians, those people. So there was a lot, because the Mediterranean is right there. There's Egypt there, and the other African and places there. There are people coming up to trade. So there was a lot of mixing. You know, most people don't have that kind of image of what it was like at the time. But then the mythology surrounding the Odyssey is purely European based, and the person should be white. There's no Helen of Troy. Lupita, one of the darkest women in Hollywood, big Helen of Troy. Like, why can't you, Lupita, why can't you just like pick up Luanda Magera and do the thing, man? You can get $5-6 million and come throw it down here like a problem. And it will be great too. You could actually do some very great Luanda Magere stories. You could incorporate a lake god who is the father or something. Like, there's so much. I've thought about this story for so many times, where he came from, and then even my bro in the Book of Ka, where Luanda Magere is in, where he comes from. Like, it's just like, you can do so much with such stories, but no, they have to go, let's just put this black woman in this white story. Like, man, this is just insulting everyone. They don't care. So that's why, me personally, I like, they can do what they want. So Lupita Nyong'o rumored as Helen of Troy in Nolan's Odyssey. Elon Musk slams director's integrity. I am going to agree with Elon Musk there. Let me see here. So Elon has said that. So yeah, in my opinion, if he does this, is a lot of these people, I think they have to eat a humble pie. You're not really that great, Nolan, if this is what you're going to do, that they capitulate. So yeah, we're going to read at geeksandgamers.com. So these guys, they do reporting entertainment industry. So that's that. So a rumor that Lupita Nyong'o is playing Helen of Troy in Christopher Nolan's upcoming adaptation of the Odyssey is getting attention from all corners of social media, including ex-owner Elon. So, according to rumors, Lupita Nyong'o could play both Helen of Troy and Clytemnestra in Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey. You're given such a legendary story, and just, these people are just too, they're not artists anymore. These are activists and politicians wannabe, and like, they're not artists anymore, man. These people, man. Like, why? Like, what's the point? Like, doesn't Africa or black people have stories that don't have to take seconds on white characters all the time? Like, Lupita, people like you should be really, you've been talking about your diversity and inclusion, but all you're doing is taking part in these shams, these scams. If you're unfamiliar with the Greek myths that informed Homer's epic poems, the Iliad and the Odyssey, and surrounding literature, Clytemnestra and Helen share a mother, Leda. However, while Clytemnestra's father is Leda's husband, Spartan kings Tyndarus, Helen was said to have been fathered by Zeus, the king of the Greek gods. Zeus was a langa. Zeus likes going around just impregnating everyone. I like those mythology. I can't lie. The fact that they humanize most of their gods, that they have that lust of humans and what. We do that with like Christianity and what. The God is a jealous God. It's there, but it's a lot less. Like the Greek mythology is a lot more interesting. Yes. Hey, what can I say? In terms of movie story, what are we talking about, man? Can't touch Greek mythology. In terms of like if you're comparing it with Christian mythology. Yes. Now, while father blah blah, so the king of Zeus. As such, Helen's beauty is unmatched throughout the world. Yes, they had that thing of the girl with the best white lily skin. She's also the catalyst for the Greek conflict with Troy. Yes, that's what I was saying. Like, okay, as Trojan Prince Paris absconded with her, causing Menelaus and Agamemnon, to follow and demand her back. So if you watched Troy, Brad Pitt, very nice. Demand her back, triggering the decades of battles that would follow. As such, she's known as the face that launched 1,000 ships. So by your logic, then Mel Gibson is perfect cast as Nelson Mandela as well, because good actor. So this one is saying, I hate how every casting of Helen. Let's see what this person. I hate how every casting of Helen becomes a hot or not debate, while really just want to avoid that altogether and say Lupita is good casting. She has the talent and powerful presence to pull it off. This casting made perfect sense to me right away. Austin, why are you gay? I am become dyslexia, the destroyer of tours. Yeah, all these are these woke idiots who think they are smart and more. I am really like very artistic and I'm visceral and I know I'm like deep. Yeah, just pandering scumbags. How? I mean, how? Like. So that's what this is. So that's what the guy was saying. That then you could say that by your logic, Mel Gibson is perfect cast for Nelson Mandela because he's a great character. We can't do these things. We can't continue doing these things. Then having these white woke people trying to tell us that this is how you should be represented. And they refuse, by the way, when you want to listen to real black people tell them the stories of Africans. They don't want. No, that story is too misogynistic. It shows blacks as not very good because they try to sanitize us. We just really victims of circumstance. We are not really bad people. In fact, we never do anything bad if it wasn't for white people. That's the thinking. Like they've been infantilized us to a point. They just decide, okay, no, we are just gonna put some. Anyway, Lupita, make your money, but I'm gonna tell you, I don't know if it'll make $1 billion because this is one of those movies that should make $1 billion. Christopher Nolan, it's already like the Greek mythology that a lot of people already are aware of, and